fact that you made time today.
Okay, good, thanks. Good,
All right,
thanks.
we rolling forward.
Thank you.
3, 2.
What it do? Big game bacon, bitch, beautiful people. Your girl Poet back at it. Another edition of the pop up. The dude next to me needs no introduction, but I'm gonna do it anyway. This Common, y'all. South side of Chicago, y'all. King of the village, y'all. Pouring into these babies, y'all. Been running cold-blooded shows since you was 12 years old.
Ooh, come on now, Poet. Come on.
First, I want to say thank you. When an artist of your caliber is in the building, in an area, sometimes we as black media especially find it hard. Like, we've been rocking since you used to love her.
Yeah.
But now that you done Glory, you're close to your EGOT, it seems like people grow, they come to town, and then it's like, oh, don't have time for you. And it sucks when I turn on outlets and I see that you had time for people that weren't there to help nurture the seeds when you were planting them. So the fact that you made time because you didn't have to, I wanted to start by giving thanks and saying thank you.
Well, give thanks to you. I mean, I inspired that you continue to do great work out there and you stay in tune with the culture and with people and our people, and just putting out, to me, just putting out good things in the atmosphere is super important. So I feel like, as you just said before, like, you don't apologize for life, but life also happens in ways that, you know, you get connected to the people you're supposed to. So I'm grateful to be here.
And you stepping into your journey, just hot stepping. Let Love, this album that's dropping, in a time where people are enamored by hate. I would like to say you're doing it because of that, but those of us who've listened know that you've been trying to plant seeds of love and leave packages of love and rock people in love since I can remember. So let's get into this project and why it's so needed. It's not before, more so now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that has been the seed of why I created this project right now with this title, and to talk about the things I'm talking about. Even though a lot of the aspects of love I'm talking about, they go from God is love to like, just like therapy. I talk about going through therapy. I talk about things that just love being an action word and a radical way of loving. Like, I look at the way the Black Panthers fed children, that's love right there. You know what I mean? And the same way Toni Morrison wrote stories, that's love in that too. So all that, to me, is like, when you put that out there with the pure intention and the right action, that's putting good out in the world. I just wanted to put something good out in the world.
You've been putting good in the world, but I'll let you be humble brag in this moment, because I can't remember a time that you weren't pushing for us. We said 25th anniversary of Used to Love Her, you give us Her Love, and it's kind of like, here's your evolution of the relationship you've had with hip-hop. How have you managed to weather the storm when we've seen people say hip-hop is dead, they ain't coming back? You still, it's almost like, so I grew up in foster care, and I remember feeling like nobody loved me, and like throughout my years, I would meet that one person that would hug me just because. Tell me you got this just because. When I listen to your music, it's those little pushes of, I know, sis, your curl's not popping, you feeling some kind of way, job ain't respecting your thoughts, but guess what? You are loved, and somebody's out here loving and praying for you, even when you stumbling and not sure where you stand. Is that your intent with your music? Because that's the way it touches me.
Well, I mean, I think you summed it up better than I could ever say it, but that is my intention, I want somebody who may be dealing with any type of like fear or a little bit of, or just not being self-assured, or somebody is like just trying to fulfill their dream. I want to put that spark in them, and just like, the seed is already planted, the Creator planted the seed, and it's up to us. I just want to help water it, like with music, like whatever we have inside of us that's good, that's supposed to go out there in the world for our purpose. That's what I want to put it into. That's what I want to pour into individuals who hear my music, and I believe in doing that in a way that's like, just raw and like creative, and just being like making great music, not trying to like preach, but if it comes from a pure place, it resonates with people.
It definitely resonates with us, and you've been one of the few artists that I know that's not afraid to put your transparency and your walk where your mouth is. I saw your video for WeInspireJustice.com. Not too many people would get on a video that is now viral, where people are really calling out the things, and if we really want this change that everybody talks about, that 45 is just one piece of a whole sandwich that needs to be made here. why have you always been so animate in stepping out and being very transparent about your struggles, not just as a hip hop artist, but as a father? I've heard conversations about how your daughter pulled you up about this time she spent with you.
Yeah.
Like, can we talk about that for a little bit?
Well, I mean, I think I've been able to be transparent because I also understand, you know, I'm not perfect, and I'd rather just like acknowledge my flaws and work on them and just be like, look, because anybody who's there judging, then if they truly judging me, I really don't need that in my life. You know, like, meaning if you're giving me some type of insight and something that's like going to help me to grow, then I'm with that. But if you're just judging me, then that's cool. I don't need that. So any people that's like looking for judgment, it's like that's not in my atmosphere. I want to keep great things in my atmosphere, and people who I can help grow, and they can help me grow. So I felt like being transparent also gives other people like us an avenue to just be themselves and be like, yo, I've been through some things, but I can be better. Like, I feel like it's easy for us as artists and people who are out there with platforms to show you all the good stuff about us. You know, like, it's easy for me to talk about the things that I do that's good. But man, when I got to deal with my fears and talk about things I worked through and talk about my daughter saying, man, I think you could have been a better dad in these ways, in this ways. When I talk about those challenges, you know how many fathers come up to me now and say, man, I've been through that. Or how many daughters now say, like, grown women say, man, I had to approach my father with that. Or now I feel like I can have that conversation with my father. Like, those are life. Those things that shift the paradigm, and I want to be a part of that.
The other paradigm you shifted was when you dropped a book. Hey, listen, you.
Yeah.
When I'm ready to write something, I'm calling you on the phone. 2 questions. A, what was it like to share those stories? Because when we share our stories, we also have to relive them.
Yeah.
You unearthed some things as a sexual abuse survivor. Just to read that and know it was watching a movie with some girlfriends during a sleepover that triggered something for me. It's not something that men, especially black men, even talk about. And then you transition in that conversation into, we've all battled something. How do we heal? I'm in therapy. How about you?
Yeah. I felt like, man, it's time for us to talk about these things. How long have they existed in our community? Like, how long have we been, people in generations, been getting sexually abused and abused from within our own families and people we know and love? And the fact that that's been a continuing process, continuous situation, and it's damaging us. It's damaged a lot of people. And I want to be a part of correcting that and like stopping that cycle. I want to put a halt to it. So I talked about it for my own like therapeutic and healing, but I also know that it's other black and brown people that have experienced it that don't talk about it in our communities. So I wanted to talk about it from there. And then, you know, therapy, to me, it would be like, I would be bogus if I wasn't telling people things that help me to be happy. You know, I feel like I have to be a message of things that I've experienced. If I can bring that to people who may not have had exposure to that, I'm going to. Now, you know, I'm just going to try to do my best to give you the same resources I've had, whether it's the information or I can actually bring the activism to your community. But no matter what, I want people to have that access. And therapy has been something that has helped me to heal, to work on things in myself, and to be a freer and more courageous me. And, you know, our people deserve it. People deserve it. Not just, I'm not even like just limited to just black culture, but I'm going to black culture because we've dealt with so much trauma. So, and within our community, we always looked at therapy or mental wellness as, you know, something that's weak, or like, no, we don't do that stuff.
Don't be telling the family business.
Yeah, exactly.
The family business needs to be told if we all gonna be helped.
Exactly. And I mean, you know, as soon as you sit down and talk to somebody that's good, like, you really understand that, like, the conversations you have with some people in your family won't be as fruitful some will be fruitful, but not as unbiased and really like giving you a direction and tool to how to deal with yourself, because your family is also has investment in you. They can't separate some of their own personal things. Like I'm saying, that doesn't mean that I get great advice from my mother all the time. I get great advice from my daughter all the time. I get great advice from my aunt.
That's what your tribe's supposed to do.
Yeah, the tribe do that. But you know, I also have learned a lot of things about myself and learned how to deal with things through a therapist.
My therapist is my heart. She's retiring at the end of the year. Every time I see her now, I tell her that I don't like it.
Yeah.
But the things that I've been able to unpack that have opened up doors for me, not just in my professional life, but personally, and the things that I never realized I was holding on to from like childhood and carried into my adulthood, the behaviors just evolved.
That's what you just said, Poet, is exactly like so many things I was carrying in my adult life that was really things that happened in my childhood, and it was just affecting a lot of my relationships, not just only romantic, but it definitely was affecting my romantic relationships too. And I'm like, I'm a person that's always looking to be better, so I gotta work on myself and be better. So I'm not gonna keep repeating the same patterns. That's not where I want to be. I don't want to carry that baggage. It's enough going on in the world where I can create as much happiness for myself if I work on myself.
Well, look at what working on you has done. You got this Film the Kitchen out. Don't like the porn stash, but I love your character. How is that to be on the set with all these boss chicks? And it's kind of like, look, listen,
Yeah.
roll through here.
Yeah, I mean, well, rolling around with the porn stash was tough enough. I had kids calling me everything from LeVar Ball to Drake's dad to Steve Harvey with that stash. So the stash was a whole thing in itself. But being on that set with those talented women, including our director Andrea Burloff, who was incredible. Tiffany is just she got so much depth to her. She's a wonderful and just super talented sister. Melissa McCarthy has got all these different things you wouldn't think she has, but she got it. And then Elizabeth Moss is just a supremely talented actress too. So I was just appreciating that greatness, and just trying to bring what I could bring.
So you have an album, Let Love Drop in 8:30. Then you did a movie, and somehow you're doing an art-based charter school up the block from what you called home. Come on now. As we wrap this amazing sit down, how does that feel that that's now a piece of your legacy? They can say what they say about Chi-Town, but here's this piece that you're going to know about our narrative.
Well, that's one of the, for me, one of the greatest things that I ever been a part of in life is to be able to bring a school back to the south side of Chicago, and it's a tuition-free art school based, centered in arts. So the same way I was saying, all these things I've been exposed to, I want to bring back. This is another method to do that. But now we're bringing it back through, like, literally I'm going to have directors of films coming to sit and teach class, for some of the students. And it could, but also not just directors. We'll have like costume designs and people who do lighting. So they know all the facets that exist within the arts. And a kid could be like, you know what? I actually want to do makeup design. I want to do like makeup, or I actually want to do costume design, or I actually want to be a lighting director or a sound engineer. I just want them to be exposed to all the things that exist. I never knew it until I got on a movie set. I was like, damn, all these people, a lot of people here working. And there's so much to making all this stuff, but people don't get to see what goes on. So I want our kids to get to see that, as well as get the academic exposure, emotional support, health support, into what they're gonna have that yoga going on, mindfulness, and making movies.
Well, when you're ready to do interview training and job searching and resume building and social media audits and all of that, I got you.
Look at that. Look at all that.
This is what happens when we pop up on the people and places and things that you need to know about. Sitting in the Water Theater with Common before, he takes the stage with the one and only legendary Moo Fresh. Yeah. Hey sis, I love you. Let Love Tour. When it comes to your city, you don't want to miss it. It's more than just a show. It's theater. Yes. It's some classics. It's some new stuff.
Yes.
And I feel like he gonna minister to us from the stage. So there you have it. 8:30. Cop that. Let love, because look at what happens when you're surrounded in love.
Let love.
WPGC 95.5.
Perfect. Yep.
Yes, great
Yeah.
job.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this moment.
Great, thank you. That was wonderful. I'm glad you stand for the show.
Wouldn't miss it for the world. Twice you've been in town, and twice career has come, and it's kind of like, well, damn, I don't even get to, and trying to, that's what therapy taught me. That there are moments that I feel like I'm missing out on, and in reality, this isn't your moment. This is a moment that somebody else is supposed to get and grab something from, and when it's time for it to be your moment. Every day on air, we do Slim Time, self-love in minutes, because in 24 hours, you'll donate time and energy to everything, and you'll be sitting at home at 11:55, scrambling to pour into you. You going to bed half empty, you waking up half empty, and then you hitting these streets half empty. No, you got too many people to pour into. So
Yeah, that's it. You know that self-love. It's like, whew.
listen, if they would have let me talk to you longer, I would have.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was lovely. What up, y'all?
See? Wanted theater. It's hot outside.
Yeah.
So you might as well call the box office and be
Come on,
like,
now.
what?
Come
You don't
on,
want to
y'all.
miss all that?
Well, we here tonight. Mamuna Yusuf, Moo Fresh.
Y'all know what we should do? Tell Carmen to pick a stick. You got to read the question and answer it honestly.
Have you ever gotten super lost? Yes. And what happened? Well, I got lost. I was a little kid and my mom had took me to Mexico. And I was at some market. And when I was at the market, I don't know how I got lost from her, but I got lost. And I was in Mexico. Didn't know how to speak Spanish. I'm just a little, like, 8-year-old kid. My mother was blessed enough to take me to out of the country to another place. I didn't know what to do. I was crying, point blank. I was scared. Like, what the hell is going on? And then I somehow got found, a little black kid.
Standing out just a little bit.
Yeah, little standing out. So I got found. So that's what happened. I got found.
Or we could say that God was like, here you go, so you know about traveling. You don't
Yeah,
know what
there
you
we
got in
go.
your journey, but we know.
There you go.
Thank you, my love.
All right, where's the food?
Behind you.
Yeah.